Hi, I'm Tian. What's up? Also known as TiBoom. I'm a avid music lover, collector, dabbler, and supporter of all music. And this is 5 records that I will never, ever sell, ever. This first one is 45. This is by one of my favorite bands, Radiohead. It was given to me by a very special person who was a DJ. Got me back into my love of vinyl because it was on a hiatus for about 25 years. No vinyl in my house. This 45 right here started it all back up. This is Radiohead from In Rainbows, which is one of the best albums ever made. And my friend and my partner, James, aka Star Groove, gifted this to me. I will never get rid of this 45 in my life. My next one that I will never sell is Brother Ali, Us album. This album is special to me. Not only is Brother Ali my favorite hip-hop artist of all time, this album has the very first song of his that I ever heard. And I was told to listen to this song by a very good friend of mine, also James. He introduced me to a lot of underground hip-hop that I had never heard before. This song is called Baby Girl, and it hit deep in my heart. It touched me, and it took me to another place, which also helped me get into writing. So this song, this album, I will never sell. So number 3 on my albums that I will never sell is Adele, 21. This album is extremely special for multiple reasons. Let me tell you a story. I'm a writer by nature. I started writing as a little girl, but I stopped for a long time. I was going through a lot. I found myself again, and I started to write. And this album and this woman was my muse for many years. So I started writing poetry again. I started writing like crazy. I was painting, I was doing art, I was healing myself. This album helped to fuel that fire and to help me heal. So the first song that I heard by her that started it all was Set Fire to the Rain. And at that time in my life, I felt like I was trying to bust out and become stronger. And that song resonated, and I just went crazy with it. Unfortunately, I've never been able to see her live. I do have her albums, but this one I will listen to over and over and over again. And my son can attest to that, to the point where he doesn't listen to Adele to this day, because she definitely was on the playlist on repeat over and over and over again. Her music speaks to me. It makes me feel strong. It makes me feel like I'm capable of loving myself, which, you know, when you love yourself, you can love others freely. And it was very healing for me. It was a very important part for me to listen to this album as well as the rest of her music, so that I can continue on my strength journey and my healing journey. This album I will never sell. My 4th album that I will never sell, it's a repress. It's Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is my favorite B-movie, horror movie of all time. It's a gatefold album. It's perfect. It's colored vinyl, which I have a little bit of an obsession with. But the reason why this one will never get sold, one, because it's a repress. The original is very expensive. It was released on a 10-inch. I never was able to get it. Now if you want to get it, it's very expensive. Way out of my budget. But when this one was repressed, I jumped on it. I got the pre-order. This movie, I can say that I saw it in theaters because of the Dickies. The Dickies are the one who did the Killer Clowns theme song. Stutter. And I went to see the movie just because the Dickies were doing the songs. But when I saw the movie, it became the best B movie I had ever seen. It is silly, it's ridiculous, it's hilarious, it's so much fun. So, I know all of the songs on here, I know all the scenes in the movie, and I can repeat it word for word. It's terrible. But the clowns are the best part of the show. They're ridiculous and they're scary, according to some people. I am very glad that I have this in my collection. I'm very grateful that I have it because I was going to find the original, but I don't think I have that in my budget. If you haven't seen this movie, I suggest you check it out because it is ridiculous and it's fun. And the Dickies are great. They're a great punk rock group. And this is one that I will never sell. My fifth and final album that I would never sell is Prince, and it's a bootleg, and there is a great story behind this album. The best song on here is Irresistible Bitch. I love Prince. This man was everything in the music world, and I love him. And bootlegs are great, and I have a friend who got me all into bootlegs. A very good friend of mine, and his name is Daryl. You might know him. An amazing DJ, a wonderful dude, and he has a great YouTube channel that I avidly would listen to. I just so happened to stumble upon a contest he was doing, which activated the writer inside of me because he said, write him a letter, which you know nobody does anymore, right? He said, write him a letter and tell him about Prince and our memory of him, or our best memory, or why we love him. And I went crazy because the story that I have of Prince was, I thought, book worthy. I was 8 years old when I first heard Prince. My dad had a 1968 Chevy Camaro, and it was jacked up in the back and it had bucket seats, and it had an 8-track player. Now I know you young people out there don't know what an 8-track player is, but 8-tracks were the way to go, and we had them in cars, which was great. My dad had a copy of Prince in his car, and all I saw was this man in a G-string, and I didn't know what that was. And I was like, wow. I popped it in, and I hid, and I listened to that, and I fell in love with that album. And if you don't know the song Head on there, you should listen to it. Anyway, I wrote this all down in a letter. I sent it to Daryl through the mail, real mail, and he read it online, which was really great to hear somebody else read my writing. And then I won the contest. This album will never get sold. Not only that, I was threatened. I can't get rid of it. But I love this album. I love the song Irresistible Bitch, and I love Prince, and I love Daryl D too for turning me on to all these bootlegs. And this is the fifth one that I will never sell. Thank you for listening to the 5 albums that I would never sell. I am glad that you are listening. I am glad to be able to do this. I thank Daryl for everything on the knowledge of music and sharing it with everyone. I thank my partner James for getting me back in the vinyl game. And thank you so much for taking the time with me and listening to me ramble on about my musical love. Take care.